There a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Minutes approved. Wow, no department comments on the agenda today. Any department heads want to comment anyway? Oh, I love you. Costume. And, Mayor Maddox.
I don't have anything. We will have a need for an executive session. Mr. Holmes will give you the information in a little bit.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe we just go home if nobody had anything.
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, trick or treat. All right, no other announcements, anyone? Okay, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, sir. We're moving through quick. It's a good thing I worked.
I know.
Good thing I wasn't tardy today. All right, we are. I'm over here. I'll start here at the top of page 2, where you'll have a public hearing setting the cost for demolition of the structure at 3207 29th Street, which is AKA 3209 29th Street. You may recall that when it came through for demolition. On page 10, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way permit to Hall Taylor Construction. This came to you in projects on the 17th. On page 11, you'll be authorizing TPD to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Tuscaloosa Violent Crimes Unit. This was in public safety last week. On page 12, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services contract with PFM for financial advisor services. This is doubled up and will be on Finance Committee this afternoon. On page 13, you'll be authorizing signors for various city accounts. This came to Finance Committee last week. On page 14, you'll be authorizing a funding agreement with Tuscaloosa County Parks and Recreation Authority. This is a total not to exceed $34,800. This was on Finance Committee last week. On page 15, you'll be authorizing a professional services contract with TTL not to exceed $13,872, which was on projects last week. On page 16, you'll be authorizing a contract with Game Time. This is Struthers Recreation LLC. This is not to exceed $249,927.90 and was on projects last week. On page 17, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Hoist and Crane Service Group. This is a total of $10,160 and again was on projects last week. On page 18, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with John Wayne Plumbing. This is a total of $15,557 with a 10% contingency. This was presented on projects last week. On page 19, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with Radco Electronics. This is a total of $13,774 and again was on projects last week. On page 20, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Control Climate Heating and Cooling. This is a total of $8,975 and was on projects last week. On pages 21 and 22, you'll be tentatively awarding a public works contract with K&A Builders, Inc. This is for the Carlton Park Improvements Project. That is a total of $1,373,000 and was on projects last week. On page 23, you'll be authorizing minor public works contract with Renovations Plus LLC. This is a total of $33,511. Again, was on projects last week. On page 24, you'll be readopting the National Incident Management System. This came to you on public safety last week. On page 25, you'll be authorizing a disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Oakdale Elementary School Red Ribbon Week. This is a total of $475 and is doubled up on Finance Committee today. On page 26, you'll be authorizing a contract with John Plott Company. This is a total of $157,000 and comes to you from Water and Sewer. On pages 27 and 28, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to fiscal year 2024 Water and Sewer Reserve for Future Improvements. This was in Finance Committee last week. On page 29, you'll be authorizing amendment number 2 to the 2024 Elevate Tuscaloosa Fund budget. And this came to you in Finance Committee last week. On page 30, you'll be authorizing amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2024 General Fund budget and came to you on Finance last week. On page 31, you'll be appointing members to the Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Commission. On pages 32 and 33, you'll be setting November 21st as the date for a hearing to consider the approval of Cypress Creek Cove, a planned unit development. That's just for setting a public hearing tonight. Are there any questions for me?
Any questions for Scott? Hey, thank you, Scott. All right, today we have projects 235, with 15, insurance and litigation at 4, and of course, council meeting at 6. This Friday, the TPD Strategic Review Task Force will meet at 2. We're in the minority room. Any other comments from any council members? All right, is there a motion that we go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Holmes?
Yes, sir. As your city attorney and attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Alabama, I can certify that this executive session is to discuss securities, plans, procedures, assessments, measures, or systems, or the security and safety of persons, structures, facilities, or other infrastructure, including without limitation, information concerning critical infrastructure, the public disclosures of which could be reasonably expected to be detrimental to the public safety or welfare if discussed in the open session, as well as to discuss preliminary negotiations involving matters of trade or commerce in which the governmental body is in competition with private individuals or entities or other governmental bodies in Alabama or in other states or foreign nations. The discussions which would have detrimental effect upon the competitive position of a party to the negotiations or upon the location, retention, expansion, or upgrading of a public employee or business entity in the area served by the governmental body if disclosed outside of an executive session.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.